welcome to the course of learning Python. Today, we are going to learn about the comments and indentations in the Python language. Here, the objective of today's lecture will include the following topics. What are the comments? Why we need the comments? And what are the indentations as well as why we need the indentations. So let us first know about what are the comments. The comments are the annotations of the code which serve the purpose to make the code more readable and easy to understand for programmers. If this definition is a little hectic or tedious for you to understand the role of comments, don't be worried. Let us try to understand what are comments with the help of an example. The comments are similar to those of the commentators in a cricket stadium or in a soccer match. That is, they play a role of providing a clear information of what is actually going on in the playground, or we could say in our programming. If there is a question in your mind that hits and says that why is there a need of comments, right? So there is an answer to that. The comments are the good habit of programmers, because if you provide the comments, then you are making your code more easier to understand that what is going on in the particular lines or sections of your code. Thus, they are helpful to make your code more readable. They are useful when the code is written by one and is read by another person. There could be two scenarios. Say, suppose if you're working with your fellow mates in a project, so your code has to be given to your fellow mates so that they could work on it. So, you have written a code which has your own sense of logic. So, how is your fellow mate going to understand what is going on in the programming? So, your comments are going to be very helpful at that particular time, as they will provide a clear understanding of what you have written in your code and what is happening in the particular sections of the code. Also, say suppose if you have written the code and you are reviewing your code after some days, so it might get a tedious task for you too to understand what you have written the logic few days back. At that time, if you provide comments in your programming in each section, then it will help you to understand your code very faster and will be more indentations. Here the word indentations has, if we break this word, it has indent in it. The indent is a word that is used for distance or space. Okay, so the indent is the word that is actually a synonym for space. What does these indentations do? These indentations are the alternatives of the braces that are used in C, C++ or the Java languages. Basically, people coming from these background will understand, because whenever you write your code in C, C++ or Java, you start your code with the curly braces. When you write your code in C, you write inside the main function, then you mention your curly braces and then you start writing your code inside it. So when you write your code in Python, as you have seen the example, we did the addition, but we did not use any curly braces or any main function, right? The Python compiler is smart. It has already stored all of those start modules in it, and you have to just write a logic. You have to just write the main logic and execute it. That is what makes the Python language more handy. Okay, so when you are working with any language like which is high level language, that is Python, so in this what we are using indentations. What these indentations are meant for? These indentations are actually meant for making the code more readable, as it is a spacing, right? Whenever you're working in Python, you have to keep in mind the indentation. This now this might not be clear to you what actually am I meaning by saying indentation again and again. Don't worry, we'll see it in programming. But I'm trying to tell you that these indentations are basically used to make your code more suitable, readable, and more understandable at the same time. Okay, so what are these? Basically, these indentations in Python are given by 4 spaces or a tab. Let us try to conclude what we have learned in this particular lecture. So today we have successfully learned about the comments, the indentations, and how to use them. Okay, so thank you so much.